On the night of January 16th, 1969, Joseph DeLuise walked into a Chicago cocktail lounge and asked to see a newspaper. He wanted to read about the two trains that had crashed somewhere south of Chicago. The men at the bar suddenly paid attention. What crash? They'd heard nothing about it. There hadn't been anything in the newspapers. Where? Somewhere south of here, DeLuise said. Two trains hit each other in the fog. It was the worst train disaster we have had since World War II, 25 years ago. Many people were hurt and killed. The bartender turned on the radio. It was 11 o'clock and there was no news of a train wreck. 2 hours later, at 1 a.m. on January 17th, two Illinois Central trains collided head-on in the fog, 45 miles south of Chicago. 47 people were hurt and 3 killed. It was the worst train disaster in the area in the last 25 years. DeLuise had spoken on a radio show on December 14th, 1968, in Gary, Indiana, and predicted that the crash would occur in 5 or 6 weeks. What sort of man is Joseph DeLuise? He works as a hairdresser and never finished the 8th grade, and like many scryers uses a crystal ball to make his predictions. On television and in the press, he has foretold many disasters. On November 25th, 1967, he predicted the collapse of a bridge. 3 weeks later, on December 16th, the Silver Bridge across the Ohio River at Point Pleasant, West Virginia collapsed. 36 people were killed and another 10 were reported missing. On January 8th, 1968, DeLuise predicted that there would be no major riots in the country in the coming year, but that there will be an actual insurrection. On April 7th, 1968, the governor of Illinois declared an outbreak of violence in Chicago to be an insurrection. 5,000 federal troops were flown in. On December 15th, 1968, DeLuise predicted that the Kennedy family would be involved in a tragedy connected with water. Later, he saw a woman drowning in that context. On July 18th, 1969, Mary Jo Capagni was drowned at Chappaquiddick in a car accident involving Senator Edward Kennedy. On May 21st, 1969, DeLuise predicted the crash of a jet plane near Indianapolis. He said that 79 people would be killed and that somehow the number 330 would be involved. At 3:30 p.m. on September 9th, 1969, an Allegheny Airlines DC-9 collided with a private plane near Indianapolis. The 4 crew members and 78 passengers were killed, as well as the pilot who had flown the plane.